All right. Let me say good evening, wherever you are joining us from. I want to say welcome tonight to another edition of our educational talk of the Marius TV. Tonight, we are super excited to be on this platform. We are here every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Tonight is going to be a wonderful discussion. We are having students, let's say people from the agricultural backgrounds or field of studies that's going to be here tonight. That will be explaining a very important topic to us for tonight. And I hope that please we don't forget to like, share, and make our necessary comment. We are on Facebook and YouTube. You can follow our page live now on Facebook and YouTube. Tonight going to be a great conversation. Somebody guest. We have a guest tonight. I wasn't placed on the flyer. Who is that person? Anyway, people tried, but they did not make it. You know, they tried, but they didn't make it. And that person is going to be here tonight with us. It's going to be a wonderful interaction on the topic. So let's stay tuned. Let's follow. Let's share the show as many as we can do. Facebook, we say we own no copyright to the sound that is about to be played. We want to say salute to Coffee with Jojo, Joseph in Cordoba, who've been doing extremely well. We've been using your song. Uh, we've been using your song over the past time. Josephine Kolba, we've been using your song over the past time for our commercial. So let me just welcome our guest. Good evening and welcome to you, Mr. Rabasco Tupache. How are you doing, sir?
Hello, good evening, Honorable Myers and the family of the Myers TV. A warm good evening to the Labyrinth students in India.
We are so excited tonight to have you again with us. I think 2 weeks ago, we spotlighted Mr. Rabasco Tubache, who is making a lot of headline in Liberia, who graduated from the Utaransha University with masters in agriculture. And Mr. Tubache is doing extremely well in Liberia. I'm seeing a lot of practical thing that has been going on since he went to Liberia. And tonight he's here with us. So let me welcome my own friend and brother again. Good evening, okay, I think Philip gonna be right back. Okay, this man is here, Mr. Rufus. So we posted on our starter a few days ago. People should guess who is this guest that we are going to be receiving tonight. Okay, good evening, Mr. Rufus. Is that Tapiak Myers? How are you doing, sir?
Yes, I'm doing cold and how are you doing as well?
I'm doing great as well. So the surprise we've been talking about on our page, Mr. Rufus Myers is also studying here in India, doing his masters, also studying agriculture, and tonight he also our guest for the discussion for tonight. So tonight, Philip is going to be our official host for tonight. Philip is going to be our official host for tonight. So while we are at the back doing some technical thing, Philip, so the floor is yours, my brother. Our guests are here, and I'm seeing Afra Timo is also here. I don't know whether we can take our commercial, then we come back and start.
Yes, sure.
Okay, so let's take our commercial, and then we'll be taking this song. I was done by Coffee with Jojo. We will take it for the next 2 to 3 minutes, and then once we get back, we're gonna start the ball rolling. And also, do not forget to share as many as you can do for us. It's gonna be a wonderful discussion. Come and learn tonight. It's gonna be a great uh, educational time. So let's take our commercial, and we get back to start the ball rolling.
Adiye, 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 fissebole. Beralize, fissebole. Beralize, fissebole. de bete la gula ga yela tama siene fane ukumba mota nula yela oye haye Lofa County oye Beralizi witazabre Beralizi witazabre Bonu anata manjade Bonu anata manjade Zunu vai oye Ha When love goes to the love When love goes to the love Silvo, had the best silvo, had the best silvo, had the best silvo. Silvio, had the best silvo, had the best silvo, had the best silvo. Silvanin, had the best. Kano gafagla, Silvanin. And no affair naga ye. Bono manuba, and he won't eat tower a towel. Yawana a use, allows. Ola my Ramagiti. And Yanuso na is a my in yaw.
Okay. So because of time, I would like to hold it there. Maybe we'll come back to this song. Philip, are you there, my brother?
Yes, sir. I'm here, sir.
Okay, the floor is yours tonight.
Okay, I
Philip
want to
going to be
thank
our
you.
featured host for tonight. We listening as we keep the ball rolling tonight, my dear brother.
Okay. Thank you, CEO Myers, and I want to thank you for the opportunity given me to host this insightful and impactful show tonight for our Liberian people and the world at large. I want to say good evening to our guests and all panelists present, and also a wonderful evening to all of our viewers in Liberia and across Liberia. We want to say thank you for always following the Myers TV, and thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. Let's continue to follow the Myers TV for such an event like this, which provide, insight, education, awareness, and community development. This is what we stand for, and we always come here to have you aware, have you educated, and have you reminded that life is beautiful and life is good. So once again, good evening to our guests, and thank you for coming up. And I can see a lot of people have joined us, and thank you for following. Like tonight topic we have, it actually focus around global conversation, as we may know, because we talk about the impact of agricultural practices on the environment, and we are highlighting, the soils and also the biodiversity aspect of it, which is very crucial for our global farmers. And I would like, our guests tonight to take it a little bit higher in contexting Liberia. And I mean, we are Liberians though, and there is a need that we discuss and focus our discussion around farming in Liberia, the best practices, and looking at the health of our soil. As we all may know, soil is life, and 95% of the food we eat comes from soil. And the statistics says that about 70% of Liberian depends on farming for income. So topic like this is going to be an eye opener to our farmers and our citizens as well. And also I'm looking forward to a more solution driven, discussion tonight. So I believe our guest is set and ready to tell us all of the problems and what are the solutions and what are some good farming practices. You know, they they can provide unto us and unto our farmers. So without further ado, I would like to ask our guest to formally introduce himself and then we go around.
That is good stuff.
Am I audible?
Yes, I'm getting at my end.
Yeah, you are. You are. Yeah, yeah. You can introduce yourself first, Mr. Rufus Myers. You can do your introduction first, then I think Mr. Rabasco will come in.
Yes, so good evening, everyone. I am happy to share the platform with you all tonight. As Liberians studying abroad, it's an opportunity actually to share such platform with like-minded people like you. And coincidentally, I'm fortunate to also share this platform with uh, an alumni and a college brother who we both graduated from the same college, doing his Monsignor, who's doing tremendous work in the agricultural sector in Liberia, and also he is a global scientist in that field. So I think it's something good to have a such discussion where we can share our perspectives, we can share our expertise about issues that are pertinent to the global community and specifically to Liberia, as we are all aware that Liberia survives or Liberians about 64 to 70% uh, get their livelihood from agricultural resources, which is important to have discussion on ways that they will be able to sustain those different sources of sustainability. So my name is Rufus Myers, and I a student at the India Institute of Technology, studying agricultural engineering, agriculture and food engineering, with specific reference on agricultural system and management. So I don't know
Thank
what
you,
are you
Mr. Matt.
liking.
I don't know. Uh, CEO, is he audible? Because he's breaking on my end. His
Yeah, yeah.
voice
We
is
are getting him.
breaking.
Right? Yeah, we are getting him. We are
Okay.
getting him.
Oh,
Yes, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, can we hear a brief introduction from you as we start the ball rolling? I think.
Again, good evening to the student community. Good evening to the Myers TV family. A special good evening to my dear brother and friend Rufus Myers. Uh, Not
thank you.
forgetting our dear brothers and sisters who are following this show. I must say I'm a bit new here because since I came to Liberia, I think this is my first time joining the show. I'm Rabasco Tubechie. I had a master's degree in agronomy in soil science. I also have a bachelor's degree in agronomy from the William B. Southern University, with serious professional certificates in agriculture and human development programs. I got key interest in the labyrinth farming system. So since then, I have been on a journey trying to explore opportunities and provide solutions to the many challenges our farmers are facing today. It's a pleasure again to be on this platform, uh, learn and also educate as well. Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah, Philip, he's done. He's done.
Okay, okay. Am I audible that much? I'm
Yeah,
having some
yeah, you are
network
audible.
issues. I don't know why.
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay, okay. Rabasco, thank you for your Mr. Miles again for his intro. So tonight is all about you guys, educating our people, giving us the awareness and, opening our eyes to this soil health thing and the biodiversity aspect of it. And I would like you, this is a humble request, I would like you, like you said, Mr. Rabasco, like you said in your intro about having key interest in the Liberian agricultural setting, which is good for us as Liberians because 70% of our people incomes comes from the farming. So how can you address this entire topic and having a context the Liberian farming sector? Like our land is very fertile and we have potential people in our country who do farming. But these things, like the best farming practices, are some of the drawbacks we experience. And due to that, we actually observe, climate change. We actually look at, some cool economical factor as well. So from your expertise, we would like you to share all of your knowledge, your experiences, and of course, your insight with the farmers and looking at the community as well. So the time is yours and the platform is yours.
So, thank you very much. Uh, Firstly, generally, people say that Liberia soil is fertile, and uh, why our farmers are not producing more food. But uh, statistically, the results and the data is bit different. Yes, Liberia owns one of the largest tropical forests, but its soil is characterized by a lactose soil. Liberia has a lactose soil which do not have um, high quantity of nutrients, and also is acidic, and the farming practices in Liberia uh, also contributing to the nutrient losses of the soil and soil degradation. So
I think we lost Mr. Rabasco and Mr. Miles. Like, can you throw
Yes,
Yeah,
light on what he was? Yeah, can you throw light on what he was saying to get him?
yes, I got his question. So like for education purpose, it's good to have this kind of discussion because basically I could say one of the challenges that are actually, confronting our farmers in the perception of people in Liberia is that generally Liberia's soil is fertile. Arguably, one could say yes, and from a scientific and data perspective, one could differ as well because there are a lot of factors that contribute to soil fertility, and also there are some factors that contribute to soil non-fertility or toxicity. So, for instance, in the world, Liberia is, considered as one of the countries that experience high amount of rainfall, and this is what happened when
Yeah.
rain falls, right? This is what happened when rain falls. So, the soil is the topmost surface of the earth, and continuous rainfall it causes three things. It causes depletion of nutrients. And when nutrient depletes, what
Mm.
happens is that it leads to soil acidity. I don't want to go into science to talk about aluminums and hydrogen presence that then also it washes away nutrients, right? And those nutrients that are washed
Yeah.
away makes the soil not fertile. And one thing I would like to go further to say is that the over application of fertilizer by farmers, like I already mentioned, that most of our farmers are not educated enough to adequately apply fertilizer. So, for instance, if they over apply fertilizer and the impact of the high fall of rain will wash away those fertilizer into the bigger river stream, also affecting the aquatic species. But as we go further, we will talk about that, but I want us to stick on this. So, on a global perspective, about 33% of soil are moderated or highly degraded, which means
Mm.
out of 100, 33% of the soil are not conducive for farming practices. And hello, hello,
Yes, you are audible,
oh,
sir. Go ahead, sir.
okay. And then the practice of agriculture with respect to the modernization and the introduction of chemical fertilizer have caused about 24 billion tons of fertilizer lost into the environment, which poses serious threat to the well-being of the human, the climate change, and biodiversity, including aquatic and non-aquatic species. Uh, no, aquatic and non-aquatic species. So, agriculture despite contribute to the livelihood of humankind, providing us food and raw materials for our factory. It also supports deforestation. Like you may be aware that one of the major agricultural practices that we do in Liberia is farming on low and urban land. And in order to have a farm, you have to deforest it. You have to cut down trees. For the lowland, you have to plot the swamp. And all of those things destroy the habitat of uh, species. Like for instance, the continuous farming in a virgin land may cause some of the species to go into extinction. The destruction of lowland may also cause some of the species to die. And these things tremendously have impact on our environment. So I
All
think
the members of the
Rabasco
show.
can stop, can take the ball from where he stopped.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your insight. And Mr. Rabasco, while you left, we asked Mr. Myers, to take off from there and let's hear you.
I,
So now we all know that the
I
soil
didn't even know.
degradation.
I didn't even know that I'm not in the show. I just here explaining.
You gotta pay key focus.
No, you know that Liberia, yeah, my man. We come
Okay.
back. Yeah, so let's go. Let's forge ahead.
Okay, so I would like us to shift to this direction. Like Mr. Myers talked about the soil degradation, right? So we know that the soil degradation actually, is hunger, and we want to be fed. We want to have surplus. That is one, need of our life as human. So now, my question to you, Mr. Rabasco, from your experience, right? Like, how can our farmer balance their productivity and the environmental best practices? What say you on that question?
So uh, the first thing is that Liberian farmers are laboring. like ants, are laboring like elephant, and they are eating like ants, right? And the major reason is that the technical expertise is not there, and the food extension services are not trickling down to them. It began it become very difficult for our farmers because they are traditional farmers. They are traditional farmers. They have not even entered the green revolution before talking about digital technological agriculture, right? Our farmers are still behind. Their their farming practices are merely reinfilled. They do not have the technical expertise. They do not have the requisite equipment. So it becomes difficult to transition those farmers to a climate smart agriculture, right? The best way to balance soil degradation or bad farming practices that will harm the soil is to practice a climate smart agriculture. Our farmers are
Okay.
not doing diversified. They are not doing diversified farming. They are also not doing. They are not practicing crop rotation. They just do slash and burn. After slash and burn, they use that place. The next year they move to the next. They move to the next area. So their subsistence farming center around shifting cultivation. That practice cannot limit soil degradation or protect the environment. They need to practice a smart climate agriculture where they will do crop rotation. They will also do diversified farming. They will also do cover crops planting. So once these things are done, definitely there will be erosion. Erosion will wipe away the nutrients. There will be soil water pollution, and there will be nutrients depletion in the soil. So the first thing that we need to do is to educate our farmers. So per my experience, because I have been traveling all over Liberia, interacting with farmers and working with farmers. The first thing our farmers need is to educate them. Once they have the education that look, these are the best farming practices that you need to do to improve your yield, to save your soil, to improve your soil health, to improve your your soil nutrient content, and reduce the impact of climate change. Other than this, we are not going nowhere. Other than this, Liberian farmers are not going nowhere. We will talk about the equipment, bringing industrialized equipment into for our farmers. We will talk about storage. Most often people talk about storage, but why will you be storing when you barely feed yourself, when you barely feed your family? You are a farmer, but you barely feed yourself, you barely feed your family, because your surplus is what you should take to market and save, right? So if you storage for, so I think the first thing our farmers need is to educate them. If you educate them, give them the right knowledge, then they can move. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Rabas. I like the way you put it. When it comes to the knowledge gap between our farmers, right? Like some solutions you just made mention of, and I would just like to them few seconds. Which additional solutions I think is actually crucial for our farmers and also our country as well. Like we have some of the solutions that talk about more extensions agent. I want to extend my gratitude to a few of the agents, the extension agents we have in the country from Nimba. I've seen a lot of them from Nimba and some from Lofa County. I follow them as well on social media. And also, I think it's going to be important that our agricultural ministry do this awareness, like radio awareness in our different, vernaculars, like the 15, the 16 traps we have, like passing on these messages to the farmers, not only in the English or the colloquial, but also pass on the message and awareness in our 16, traps as well. So thank you for the knowledge gap you spoke on. And I'm going to move forward to Mr. Myers as Mr. Rabasco, expatiated on the knowledge gap. So I would like you to actually throw light on the biodiversity aspect, which we all know that this is kind of huge when we talk about biodiversity. Maybe a typical farmer all the way there in Lofa or somebody in Bumi will not be understanding all the BB terms, we speak or you guys. But when it comes to the biodiversity terms, and and I know, and most of those farmers who are educated, is supposed the food chains and also natural pest control. So, what say you? How can you educate our farmers based on this biodiversity aspect?
In terms of the education aspect on biodiversity, so like I would like to respond to your question by again building on what Rabasco have already said. You know, majority of our farmers in Liberia do not have the requisite education on tackling challenges that they are confronted with on the daily basis. I have worked in Liberia, I have worked in the agricultural sector, I have held discussions with people within the agricultural sector. Even the ratio of extension staff to local farmers or smallholder farmers is very, very, very large. There's a huge disparity. So, let me start by saying that agriculture contributes tremendously to the degradation of our environment. I will say that as an agriculturist because of the indiscriminate use of synthetic fertilizer in agricultural chemicals, including pesticides, right? And the application
Yeah.
of the agrochemicals tremendously hinder or damages the biodiversity. And the funny thing about it is that biodiversity also contributes tremendously to agricultural productivity. Do you know that?
Okay. Okay.
It contributes to agricultural productivity. So, according to FAO, about 1 million species go into extinction due to agricultural practices based on the application of pesticides, the application of herbicides, the application of agricultural fertilizer. So that lead to habitat loss during deforestation, and it also
Okay.
causes the reduction of biodiversity because we all know that as deforestation takes place, the habitat of species are destroyed. Am I on point? So
Yes, sir.
how our farmers and agriculturists are going to protect these species? One of the ways they could protect them is to know their significance, to know the impact of biodiversity to the existence of humans. Because in the ecosystem, we are interdependent. If you look at the cycle of the ecosystem, we survive on nature and also nature needs us. So destroying these species while we tend to fuel ourselves is not sustainable enough. And when farmers are not educated about the impact or the long-term impact of destroying the ecosystem or the biodiversity, it might lead us to even a worse case where we may not be able to continuously produce for ourselves. So, in a nutshell, what I could say is that the best thing we could do as farmers, as agricultural practitioners, is to adopt sustainable agricultural practices. So, can I expatiate on how the sustainable agricultural practices should be adopted?
You are going to do that. You are going to do that, but I would like to, bring this understanding to you and Mr. Rabasco. So we're going to have this discussion for the next half of the session in two forms, right? So you, Mr. Myers, going to speak more on the biodiversity aspect, and Mr. Myers, you are going to speak on the biodiversity aspect. I meant to say, and Mr. Rabasco speak more on the health, the health of the soil or the soil health. So I think we can balance, the conversation that way, and we can
But
get our audience educated.
so can I make this point?
Yes, yes,
So
make a
the
point.
so to discuss biodiversity without discussing soil, I think is kind of impossible because apart from the online
Say
biodiversity, there are also
that.
microorganisms that are found in the soil that are also form part of the biodiversity sphere. You got my point?
Am I audible to you? Am I audible to
Y-
you?
Yes, yes. So we can continue. Let's continue.
Okay, so just one last thing I would like to share with you too, our guests. Of all these big terms we use, let's kind of make it practical, for the very least person, the least farmer there in Nima County, and also those of our followers, because many of us of agriculture and familiar with these words. So whatever we discuss should be practical in simple words. So having said that, Mr. Rabat, you are going to talk on the soil health, like studying literally everything about soil, what our farmers need to know, the best practices, and what the end user, the consumer, needs to know as well. I think that would be good for us.
Can
What
you
say you, Mr. Rabasco?
come back again? Can you come back again?
Okay. Am I audible to you?
Yes.
Okay, I said that we're going to have for the remaining, few minutes we have, we're going to have the conversation in twofold. One is that you're going to speak more on the health of the soil and all its best practices for our farmers and also the end user, that's the consumer. And Mr. Bios, on the other hand, is going to talk more on the biodiversity aspect of the soil. So the both of you are going to share your insight experiences, but in a more practical way. And the words you're going to
Okay.
use, although you use your words, but most of the words you are to use should be, very simple and practical. So some of our farmers
Okay.
who are not to these big terms. I don't know if that would be
Okay.
okay.
That is perfect for me.
Okay. So we're going to have just 5 minutes of question. We take on our CEO if he has a question to ask you, and we take on our brother Alfred if he has a question to ask. They both ask their questions, and then we come back to you again. CEO and Alfred, you can open your mic and ask questions. CEO.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You are doing so well, my brother. Thank you for that. So let me ask this question quickly to Mr. Tubachie. Here's my question to you, sir. What role does agrochemical pollution plays in long-term biodiversity loss on farmland? That's our question for tonight.
So I could
Okay,
speak for
so
that because Mr.
in the
Flo,
library,
so
hello?
you can flow. I thought I could respond to that because he just said I should be the one to address biodiversity stuff. But
So let me give that. I think we can give that to Mr. Myers, and then I'm coming to you, Mr. Tubachi.
yeah,
Okay.
so can you restate your question?
My question says, what role does agrochemical pollution plays in long-term biodiversity lost on farmlands?
Okay, so this is what happened when you applied agrochemical prolonged, or if you over applied agrochemical on a farm for a very long period of time. The first thing it does is that it makes the soil acidic. From the liberal perspective, most of our farmers are either doing continuous farming on one land due to land techno system, or are doing bush furthering. So the over application of agrochemicals, it contributes to the damage of biodiversity in these cases. One, within the soil there are microbes organisms that are also promoting soil organic matters or decaying soil organic matters that also turns as fertilizer for plant uptake. So the presence of agrochemicals in the soil kills those microorganisms, leaving the soil vulnerable to scrap to regenerate. In the absence of microorganisms, impact the soil to the extent that it may not be able to regenerate in time, thus causing soil deficiency. And moreover, considering Liberia as one of the countries that experiences the hardest rainfall in the world, the application or indiscriminate use of organic fertilizer over a period of time also affects the aquatic species. So this is how it happens. When rain falls, the water wash away the chemicals and put it in the streams, and the aquatic species like fish and some other things consume it, and the toxicity cause them to die. So over the period of time, people who survive on fishing will not be able to catch fish or get fish any longer because the population of fish will reduce. Those who are living on streams water like the local farmers, they use those water to drink. It might impact them, and also they use it for irrigation purposes. So the water that is already impacted or affected by those different practices will also be brought back on the farm to affect the crops. Hello?
My-
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that brilliant answer. So, Mr. Afra is not here now, so maybe I can ask my second question. Would that be okay?
Yes, we have. Yes.
So, uh, Mr. Chie, here's
What
my question to you.
what
Yes.
Maya?
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh, we okay. Maybe you can. Maybe you can ask your second question, and before my response, maybe I can just buttress what my dear friend Myers just said about how prolonged use of chemicals can negatively impact the soil, right? Because
Yes.
farming in Liberia, uh, the genesis of farming in Liberia is from the soil, so it's important
You
to
will do
throw
that.
more light on
You will do
that.
that.
Yeah, so Bob
We will
Myers,
give
go
you the
ahead.
answer.
I think I can ask my question. So here's my question to you, Mr. Chie. Uh, what evidence shows the link between soil erosions and waterway sedimentations or reduced farm productivities?
Okay, so Bob Myers, thank you very much. Like I said, I have been traveling in recent time from one country to another, and my focus has been interacting with Liberian farmers to know the challenges and have a first-hand experience on what they are going through. It's very clear, even if our people, our farmers do slash and burn. So once you do slash and burn and remove the vegetative cover of the soil, definitely you expose the soil to erosion, and that impact can be calculated through their yield. So at the end of the day, when there's a heavy rainfall in Liberia, nutrients are washed away during the erosion. If you move around their farmland, you see uh, baffled soil erosion drainages among their farms, right? So there are physical evidence to soil erosion in Liberia that is affecting Liberian farmers. When nutrients
Right.
are washed
Right.
away, when nutrients are washed away, let me bring it to the Liberian context. Before our people may farm, the first thing they can do is to cut the grass, cut the trees. Now, when they do that, when the grass get dry, they burn the place. When they burn the place, the
Yeah.
first thing is they have removed organic matter. The organic matter
Hmm.
also make up the soil. When it talks about the soil, they are not talking about only the slate particle or the sand particle or the clay particle that you see. When they say soil in agriculture, they are talking about the organic matter, which is uh, when the plants die, when the animals die, their residues is
Yeah.
also part of the soil. They are also talking about the mineral matters because soil is a formation from weathering. So the mineral matters consist of those small minerals found within the soil. They also talks about the water within the soil. They also talk about the air and the microorganisms. All the living animals they come together. So these five components is what make up the soil. So before our people may farm, the first thing is they destroy the first one by burning, which is the organic matter. They also destroy the second one by exposing the soil. So when they expose the soil, rainfall, the mineral matters are washed away, nutrients are washed away, right? Erosion become a physical impact, negative impact of our farming practices. The next thing that happen, our people do not create drainages. They do not, especially with their upland farming. Imagine someone is farming up the hill, they expose the land, or is farming down the hill. They do not create drainages. So at the end of the day, when the soil is exposed to too much sun, they have balance in water, the soil gets dry. So some of them, you go on your rice farm and you see the rice turning, water gets dry. Now what happens when rain falls? Because before the rain aspect, our people do not also do mulching. Mulching mean you brush the place, then you bring the rotten grass or the dry grass and put it back on the soil, so that when sun shining, the water that in the soil will not move very faster. Because they cannot do that, these smart or sustainable agriculture practices have not been done by them. Soil water is evaporated in the air. Now if there's too much water, no drainage, water logging again happens. So these are some of the physical negative impact on the soil that the farming practices of our people introduce, and that result can lead to low productivity. So when you do refill farming, definitely you expect low product productivity. That is the reason this statement of our people labor the elements and eat the iron has come to my mind from a recent county tour in the 15 counties with the farmers. Because throughout the year, our people doing farming. Throughout the year, they doing rice farm. At the end of the day, they barely feed themselves. They barely feed themselves before talking about selling outside. So low productivity is also an evidence of the traditional practices of our people, Mr. Myers, and the platform. Thank you.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. So, CEO, I guess we can proceed, right, sir? Can we?
Sure. Yeah, we can proceed.
CEO. Okay. I would like to extend my thanks again to our followers for your constant support, and thank you for staying with us. And a big thanks to our two guests tonight. We like the way you kind of educating us, providing us the awareness, and especially to our family and those hoping to enter into this farming thing of our country or of their own career. We all know these things we are talking. I can safely say, right, that farmers are not the problem. Our farmers are not the problem. They simply need to have access to the knowledge. So gracefully for us, we have you on the Myers television to actually provide our farmers the knowledge and the tool. In the last 15 to 20 minutes of this show, I would like us to make it more productive. It's been productive so far, but I would like us to make it more productive. Now, we are going to stay with you, Mr. Rabasco. We're going to stay with you on this health soil thing, or the what you just spoke about. Like, I mean, if we don't protect the soil now, our future generation is going to suffer, or our future generations are going to suffer from hunger and other climate change stuff. So, what say you? What are some best practices when it comes to this soil thing, the health of the soil, the healthiness of the soil? What are some of the best practices with your experience that our farmers can employ to have a better farming in our country?
So thank you. Uh, One of the decisions that I reached before leaving India in July was to definitely get to our farmers and educate them on the importance of valuing the soil as your initial investment in agriculture. Because in Liberia, all farming activities begins with the soil. That is, all
Right.
of the farmers, all of the crop producers in Liberia are now doing hydroponic, meaning they are now farming using solution. They are not using water to
Okay.
farm, right? All of the farmers plant their crops on or in the soil. So the soil as the first step of your investment in agriculture should be the cake, should be your focus attention, because if you lost track of the soil, you definitely lost track of your investment, and you might not realize your return on investment. And that is what is happening to our farmers, because they are losing
Right.
track of the importance of the soil, so they are not getting optimum yield. So throughout, we have been creating awareness about soil testing. You cannot make a farm of an acre or a hectare or a hectare plus, and you do not know the component of the soil, whether that soil can support that particular crop growth. Currently, Currently, there is no scientific data on Liberian soil regarding if you go lofa. Lofa is good for watermelon. Grenku is good for cabbage, or bon is good for cassava. There is no scientific data about Liberian soil regarding that. Right. So almost
Yeah.
all of our farmers in Liberia uh, depends on their traditional knowledge that they had of crop production. That is, you see the place, the vegetations are good, the place is not waterlogged. You can go ahead, you can go ahead with your farming activities and plant any crop there. So we're encouraging our farmers that it's important to do your soil test. Even if you have not done the soil testing, it's also important to seek technical advice before going into farming. So when you
So,
do that,
Rabasco, Mr.
yes,
Rabasco,
yes,
a typical Liberian farmer might, be listening to us, or just an end consumer might be like, "What is soil testing? Like, what do you say about that in a practical sense? Just in few seconds,
so
and then you proceed."
so, so we've been telling our farmers, before you make your farm, ask somebody,
Yeah.
or in every county there's an agriculture coordinator. Though in
Okay.
Grenku currently in Grenku, no extension officer, no district agriculture coordinator beside the county agriculture coordinator, who cannot reach to every part of the county.
Right.
However, we still encouraging our farmers, when we mean soil testing, they should call somebody that know about this soil thing, and know whether the type of soil they get, the type of land they get, they can grow the type of crops they want to grow. Like for example,
Okay.
if they want to grow cassava, it's important to reach out to the agriculture coordinator or any expert, right? To see whether the land you get when you grow cassava there, you will get good result, right?
Yeah.
Because you will grow cassava there, that cassava man grow. But if, for instance, a 1 acre supposed to give you 400 kg, 100 kg bag of cassava, you will be getting less than 20 kg.
Okay.
So a, uh, imagine a crop that has the potential of producing 100 kg on a 1 acre of land. You are getting 20
Yeah.
kg and you think you're doing better.
You're losing
So
pieces.
to avoid that, call somebody, let them look at the soil. If they have the
Okay.
equipment like we do, they will examine the soil, they will know the type of nutrients that are in the soil, they will know whether that soil pH can support the cassava you want to grow, whether the available nutrients in the soil it can support the cassava you want to grow, so you can get
Okay.
plenty cassava,
Thank
right?
you. Thank
That has
thank you.
been,
So
So I would like to go
yes,
you. I would like to come back to you. So let's hear Mr. Myers. Like the saying
so
goes that if we protect the soil, we protect our future, right? And if we
yes,
protect biodiversity, we protect our children. So now our children need to be protected. Our future needs to be protected. So, Mr. Myers, when it comes to this monocropping, we should know that it's actually dangerous to this entire agricultural thing. And due to monocropping, there is a huge loss in biodiversity. For example, we have one typical farmer there in Bomi, there in Magibi, just over and over and again, planting rice, and then the other farmer somewhere else planting cassava, the other farmer somewhere else for 5, 10 years, just planting palm, right on the farm. And like I said, monocropping is dangerous. So what kind of education, what kind of knowledge and tool do you have to bring this biodiversity thing to our farmer, explaining in simple words and practical examples?
okay, so I think Rabasco have spoke lengthily on soy and hello, you get me?
Yeah, I just want you
Yes, you
to
are clear.
focus
You are
your
clear.
perspective and your insight
On
on
mono.
monocropping, sir.
Okay. So what happens is that the biodiversity is the interconnection of different species of plant and animals, right?
Yeah,
So you as a farmer giving premium to or planting just a single crop on that particular land, it causes other species of animals and variety of maybe plant to go into distinction. So the contribution that those particular species or impact they have on the ecosystem might be derailed or might be missing, thus causing gap within the ecosystem.
right.
And over the period of time, if that continues, then it means that those species will go into extinction. And then once those species go into extinction, it means that also our children to come after us might not see those species, the impact that those species have on the environment, they might not also have the impact. For instance,
Right.
right? For instance, in Liberia, more farmers are giving priority to a certain variety of seeds. We have had some very good variety of our homegrown seeds like rice. But the
Right.
introduction of those new variety of seeds, like now you go in Liberia, they have the 18 months cocoa, right? The presence of the 18-month cocoa have caused farmers to disregard the homegrown cocoa that is very resistant, is very resilient to our ecosystem, to our climatic condition. They have adopted the assorted variety that is easily, I mean, is easily susceptible to diseases and cannot withstand the climatic condition of Liberia. So if that continues over time, what happens is that our homegrown variety of cocoa and other crops will go into extinction, and the ones that they have considered may not be suitable for their growing culture, and that also might impact the agricultural sphere of Liberia.
Okay, sir. Thank you. And that brings us to, the deforestation from commercial agriculture that we do these days in our country, right? Like looking at counties like Sano, Maryland, Grand Cru, where we have a huge expansion of palm oil. And also counties like Magibi, Nimba, Bomi. Also, we are seeing the expansion of rubber. And these actually affect the environment for sure. The deforestation, commercial agriculture, it totally affects the environment. And some of these, dangerous things we see in these counties, ranging from San all the way to Bombing, we see wildlife displacement. Like you said, some of our children, right? They will see some of the species in time to come due to this monocropping thing and the deforestation as well. And we're also going to see the loss of forest covered. Like, I mean, forest is a good thing because once we have multiple of trees, we're going to have surplus of medication provided onto us traditionally and also modern medication as well. So, what are some alternative solutions you think these counties coordinator like Rabasco said can employ so that we can have a very green forest and a very healthy forest in our country?
Okay, so in Liberia, most of the farmers do what we locally call bush farming, where they farm on this particular piece of land over time, and if they notice that the land is no longer rich in nutrients, they move to another place. And with that, it requires them to cut down the trees to prepare the land, and that alone causes deforestation, right? So if
Yes, Matt.
agricultural extension officers are able to educate the local farmers about sustainable agriculture, adequate nutrient management, like crop rotation, like mulching, like effective fertilizer application, these are things that are going to cause them to sustain farming on a particular piece of land. So the continuous farming on a
Right.
particular piece of land might discourage the deforestation of forest. And what is best
Okay.
about crop rotation is that every plant has its own ability to take up nutrient at verified pH, right? So for
Right.
instance, if you plant a leguminous plant like peanut will not take sufficient nitrogen. Instead, it's a biological nitrogen fixation plant. So it's going to release nitrogen in the plant, I mean in the soil. And then after you can plant pepper. Pepper might not also take in that much nitrogen. It will take phosphorus and potassium and some other trace nutrients. If you plant
Right.
cabbage, cabbage is going to take up the nitrogen because it's a vegetative plant. So when farmers are informed, if they are educated about the different requirements in of those different plants and how to rotate them over time, it's going to discourage monocropping one. Are you getting me? It's
Yes, sir.
going
Yes,
to
sir. You are,
discourage
sir.
it's going to discourage monocropping by rotating the crops. And then secondly, it's going to cause what we call revitalization of the soil by introducing different crops with different nutrient demand and we survive in different pH. So with that method of practice and the adoption of different sustainable practices like mulching, like the application of compost, like limited tillage of soil is going to contribute to sustainable agricultural practices. And what it best is that, hello,
Yes, sir. You're
what
Yeah,
audible,
it,
Gabby.
sir.
okay, what it best is that
Yeah, I think he was battling with some network issues. Just before he come back, we're about to, round up this entire session. We're about to wind up and also wrap this. And it's been so fascinating. It's been so insightful. It's been so educative so far. And we would like again to thank our guests for their insights and also our listeners for playing the listening role. Like he did mention some of the alternative solution. And I think, our county coordinators should actually work on the agroforestry, which has to do with the mix planting of crops. Like you kind of mix the cocoa plus the banana, plus timber trees, so that which is possible, the mixing of the crops and planting them, I think is going to help us to maintain our forest. And also we should have some sustainable, palm trees planting as well. And we should follow these practices, not just planting for commercial use only. And we want to make the money quick. We want to make the money in huge. We want to make the money in bulk. No, we should be able to follow sustainable palm practice as well. And Mr. Rabasco, we're going to take your party statement, but before your party statement, I would like you to actually throw some light in just 2 minutes, right? To throw some lights on the major threats the soil health faced, like some soil health challenge that we have. So I would like you to throw light on some of them and provide the solution for over 70% of Liberians who earn, their income from farming. Am I audible?
Uh, yes, but can you repeat the question again, please?
Okay, I was like, from your previous, statement you made and also knowledge you shared, I did notice some major threats we face when it comes to the soil health we are talking about. That there are some challenges in the soil health. So about 70% of Liberians earn from this farming thing. So do you care to provide us some of these challenges they face? Because here is the thing, the reason why I asked the question is because many of the farmers are not knowledgeable to the pain points. They are not knowledgeable to the major threats. They are not knowledgeable to some challenges, they might face when it comes to this soil health thing. So can you, in 2 minutes, throw light on some of these challenges we faced and also giving a proposed solutions?
So, one major challenge our farmers face is low productivity. They are not getting the actual result from their crops that they planting. And
Because because of what?
the main reason
Why? Why?
the
Why they are
main
not?
reason the
Yeah.
main reason give me time, bro. The main reason is because nutrient deficiency in the soil. The soil fertility cannot support the optimum growth of that crops that they planting. So most often what we advise our farmers to do is they do not have money now for fertilizer, right? Most of our farmers don't have money for fertilizer, so we encourage them to make use of compost and manure. When you get your chicken poo poo, get a chicken poo poo and use it on your farm. The next thing is if you
Right.
planting cassava, you plant beans, like what Myers was saying, right? Because Liberian
Yeah.
soil is not a fertile soil. Generic statistics results have shown that Liberian soil is not a fertile soil because it is a lato soil. Lato soil is low in fertility. Liberian soil is dominated by a lato soil, is low in fertility. and it leaves nutrients very fast. So we encourage them, say, look, you know what you do? Be planting cover crops on your farm. The cover crops will help to put nutrients back in the soil. It will also help to keep the soil water in the soil. When the soil dry, it becomes very difficult for your crop's root to penetrate and access even if the nutrients are available. Right? So be doing mulching
Yeah.
too. When you plant your leaf pepper in your garden, find dry grass and cover that whole place that you finish weeding. All the grass you take from there, when it dry, cover the whole place. Don't cover the pepper or cover around the pepper and cover the rest of the soil. So when you does that, when you do that, the dry matters that you put on the soil as mulch will get decay, it will get rotting, and when it get rotting, it will put nutrients back in the soil. It will not only put in nutrients back, it will also be helping volatile nutrients will not evaporate. Nutrients that when too much sun shining, when the place get hot, that can lead the soil and tend to air, it will
And
not
be
be
real.
going. Right? It will
Okay,
not
sir.
be going.
I beg to hold you. I beg to hold you there because we're going to take you back for your party statement. So, writing your party statement, you can, concise everything out of the knowledge. All right, it's good to have you
So
back on, Mr. Mike. So let's keep to the water conservation. I'd like you in just 1 minute to throw, your insight on the water conservation because it's important as well to farming. So, what say you about water conservation to our farmers? Just in 1 minute.
I was just summarizing that they
We will
also
get back to you, sir.
okay,
We
okay,
we are get back to you, sir. Please.
okay,
So
okay,
let's
okay.
have Myers. Yeah, let's have Myers on the water conservation.
Okay, so Rabas just creates a point that I will conclude on and to address your point. So in Liberia, you see farmers who have the term will water almost every day, which to a larger extent leads to nutrient depletion and also it washes away nutrient. So like Rabasco just
Right.
said, if a farmer is able to mulch, that farmer may not be, may not water every day because once you mulch, what it does is that it minimizes the rate of evaporation and stabilize the
Yeah.
soil. It stabilizes the soil temperature. Hello? And then
Yes, sir.
secondly,
Yes,
you
sir.
will
You're
see that
audible.
yes, you also see farmers are using acidic water mainly from lowland to do watering. Like you see, water will rust, will iron over it, right? They always use it to do watering in Liberia, mainly for people that farm around swamp area. That is very acidic. It also hampers the plant growth because what it does is that it causes the fertilizer, the nutrient to get tied up to the soil that the plant cannot take it. So what I will also advise, why I will encourage farmers to do soil testing is also significant enough that while applying water, you should look for either a water that is of running soils or a very clean source of water because the kind of water you apply or on your crops or on your field also impact the nutrient release ability of the soil. And
Thank you,
for
sir.
that
Thank you
aspect, I
so
think
much.
okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's hold you there. You will see the rest in your parting statement. So, Mr. Rabasco, are you there, sir? Mr. Rabasco, are you there? Okay. So if okay, here you come. So, Mr. Rabasco, we want to thank you for the time from the very 1 minute to this very present we are. And this is your parting statement. And in your parting statement, we would like you to throw light on crop rotation. That means you are concluding with crop rotation till we can have another session of this great topic again. So we give you 1 minute.
So, firstly, let me appreciate Rufus Myers, because initially Rufus was not informed about this discussion, but because of his enthusiasm into educating our people, he have to make himself available. And I'm so impressed with his presentation. He's actually a scholar. I appreciate
Yeah.
him for that, and I
So,
also appreciate him the
yeah.
Myers TV for having us, and our dear farmers who are listening, or farmer children that are listening. So on crop
Mm.
rotation, we will encourage our people that if you brush the land, because you brush the land, you already destroy the biodiversity. You already take away the trees. You already bring problem to the soil. Once you brush the plate, you already the first problem is starting from there. So we want to encourage them that if they plant rice here this year, they should not continue with rice next year. If they plant rice here, the next year they can plant beans. The following year they can plant watermelon. The following year they can plant cassava. The following year they can plant cabbage. So that they will not be moving from one piece of land to another piece of land, because when you do that, you destroy the whole forest, you destroy the whole land, and it becomes difficult for your children to come. So right now, first our people used to farm in the town, but now we have to walk up to 25 kilometers, 30 kilometers before we reach to a high forest or a farmland, right? So imagine if we continue in the next 50 years, 50 years to come, it means that people in Bomi will be going to farm in Grand Crew, right?
Mm.
So it makes things more complicated, more and more. So we begging them, get your piece of land. Let your quarter people get your piece of land. On that your piece of land, just be changing one crop to another, one crop to another, one
Yeah.
crop to another, one crop to another, and it's going to help you very well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I like the way you put it, and you're being practical enough. Thank you. You've been fantastic so far. So let's take Mr. Myers, who has been so, outstanding when it comes to sharing his insight as well. So, Mr. Myers, this is your parting statement, and you're going to conclude on what we call the organic fertilizers, right? So you're going to throw light on the organic fertilizers and how our farmers can work with them, and where can they get those fertilizers from and how to use them.
Okay, so when we talk about organic fertilizer in agriculture, we talk about fertilizer that are produced from the remains of organic matter, and excluding synthetic fertilizer or chemicals. For the Liberia context, basically we use compost, we use manure. So compost is the combination of carbon and nitrogen sources that we put together and allow it to get degraded or decomposed for a
Myers,
period of time.
interrupting. I'm sorry, sir, for interrupting. This is your big English, your beautiful English. I would just like you to, you know, put it in small words so our farmers' children and our farmers
Okay.
themselves can learn. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So when we talk about compost, we use the source of carbon and nitrogen to break down. Like for instance, we use the chicken poo poo, and
Right.
we use sawdust, and we put them together in a plasma water and allow it for some period of time to pass, then organic matters will break them down into smaller particles and we can use them for fertilizer. So what they do, apart from being a source of fertilizer, it also helps to build the soil organic matters, to retain water, to hold water. So for instance, if you are applying compost or cow dung or remains of chicken poo poo or pig poo poo in a very optimum amount, because while these things are good, they also have their negative part. The over application of them might lead to what we call in agriculture the emission of methane. Methane also affect our climate, and then
Okay.
also it might also affect the plant root.
Mm.
So let me conclude by saying that why we encourage farmers to carry on best practices is also good
Right.
to have consultation with people who got the expertise. Despite
Yeah.
there are infrastructure and capacity gap, but we know the Ministry of Agriculture and people at Rabasco are working alone to educate farmers and also extension officers about best sustainable agricultural practices. So with
Yes, sir.
that, I believe they are able to adapt to best agricultural practices to get, if not maximum, but optimum yield.
Yes,
So
sir.
let me close by appreciating all of you, taking up your time to come out tonight to talk about things that are significant to Liberia, to the world. It's a plus because you should have been doing something different that you maybe will get one or two from. So I appreciate all of you sharing platform with me tonight.
Thank you so kindly, Mr. Myers. Thank you for being incredible. Thank you for being fantastic. And big thanks again to Mr. Rabasco for sharing his powerful insight. You guys were being very, 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 very wonderful tonight. And our CEO can tell more than that, though. So we want to thank our followers again and to our families and our families' children. And this is what I want to leave with before our CEO can call this a night, a day, an afternoon, or a morning. So our country, Liberia, has the land for farming, we have the water, we have the climate, and most importantly, we have the potential farmers, we have the manpower to do the work. So what we need now is a better knowledge, like we said earlier on, when Rabasco was talking about the knowledge gap, among our farmers. So what we need now is a better knowledge, better practices, as well as smart agricultural tools. So we need those things to empower our people. All of these things we are talking about, the farmers are not a problem. Actually, they are not. But due to lack of information, due to lack of technology, due to lack of machines and stuff, we are experiencing poor soil and also this monocropping thing. And if we protect the soil, as we say, we protect our future. And if we protect biodiversity, we protect our children. So, and if we transform our agricultural system, we are definitely going to transform Liberia and generations of Liberia yet to come. Thank you so much, and I will now turn this over to our CEO.
Let me say a very big thank you to our guests. Before applaud them more, I know most people will not follow this kind of show. Every time we cry in Liberia, things are hard, things are hard. People are here to educate us that we can go back as an individual to make our own farm. We can make our own food to eat and other things. We know people will not follow the kind of show. If we're discussing who's moving, who's dropping, I will say we know people are going to follow, but we are never deterred. We want to say thank you to Mr. Rufus Miles and Mr. Rabasco to Bache for educating us tonight. There are a lot I was learned. We appreciate you, and we will be excited again to have you people on this platform for another great discussion relating to the agricultural sectors. Thanks so much. Words are inadequate to express on behalf of the Myers TV family. We say thank you. Thank you. Nothing more, but we want to say thank you. So we want to say to our followers, do not forget tomorrow marks our religious talk, and it's going to be so powerful. We have another guest that will be joining us tomorrow for another wonderful discussion. We hope that you can follow us as we move forward. Thanks to our host for tonight, Philip. Thank you so much. And thanks to our team member who were unable to be here tonight due to some circumstances, but we hope to see them tomorrow for another discussion. Once more, do have yourself a wonderful night, a wonderful evening. Thank you so much again. God bless every one of us.
Thank you, sir. Bye, everyone.
Voilà le nid et le thé, gragia, toi n'a le bec. Sur le vent, tu peux pas.